Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SBI Securities Weekly Wrap podcast. So, firstly, let's see how the markets have been in the week gone by. So, Indian equity market ended the week on a muted note with benchmark indices Sensex and Nifty registering marginal gains of 0.2% each. Also, Nifty 50 hit an all-time high level of 22,793.9 levels. The broader market performed better than the benchmarks as BSE Midcap Index gained 2% for the week. Some of the key happenings during the week were the Fed meeting outcome, where FOMC announced its decision on the interest rate policy and kept the interest rates unchanged at 5.25% to 5.5%. The Fed said that it wants more confidence on inflation to come down to the 2% target range before deciding on interest rate cut. Also, the data during the week showed US labor cost increasing more than expected by 1.2% in the March quarter. The US consumer confidence also dropped in April month as per a survey. The weekly US jobless claims, that is the data till 27th April, also remained low, supporting the case of higher for longer Fed rates, while the April month non-farm payrolls data will be released in US market today. Talking about the weekly sectoral gainers and losers on BSE, BSE Power, PSU, Auto, all these indices gained the most by 3.3%, 3.1%, and 2.4% on a weekly basis, followed by BSE BankX, Metal, Oil and Gas, and Healthcare sectors, which also gained. While BSE IT sector was the biggest sectoral loser on BSE with losses of 1.5% on a weekly basis, followed by BSE Capital Goods, Realty, Consumer Durables, and FMCG, which also ended on the lower side for the week. Talking about the weekly Nifty 50 gainers and losers, Mahindra & Mahindra, Power Grid, Grasim, Coal India and SBI were the top 5 gainers of Nifty 50 for the week, while HCL Tech, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Bharti Airtel, L&T and Tech Mahindra were the top 5 losers of the Nifty 50 index. Now taking a check on some of the key monitorables, then FIS net sold to the tune of Rs 1,696 crores during the week, while DIS net bought Rs 3,474 crores, that is till 2nd of May in the cash market. The rupee remained flat during the week at Rs 83.38 per US dollar. Brent crude declined about 4% during the week to $83.5 per barrel. Moving on to some of the key economic developments during the week, then India's manufacturing PMI data came out during the week, where India's manufacturing PMI for April month stood at 58.8, which is down slightly from its 16-year high of 59.1 levels recorded in the month of March. So during April month, firms experienced a sharp upturn in new business intakes and scaled up production accordingly. So Indian manufacturers reported robust demand for their goods in the April month from domestic and external clients. Total new orders rose sharply, with the pace of expansion being the second strongest since the start of 2021. PMI remained above key levels of 50, so that was positive as it separates expansion in economic activity from contraction. Secondly, India's 8 core industries data was also out during the week, where it increased 5.2% year on year in the month of March. The growth was led by growth in cement production, which grew 10.6% year on year, followed by coal production, which saw a growth of 8.7% year on year, and electricity generation, which grew 8% on a year on year basis. Fertilizer production and petroleum refinery saw a degrowth of 1.3% and 0.3% on a year on year basis, respectively. Then another key development on the economic front, which we already spoke about, was the US Fed meeting outcome, where the FOMC unanimously voted to retain benchmark interest rates. Also, the Federal Reserve highlighted concerns over the persistent challenge of inflation, noting a lack of further progress while addressing the issue. So these were the top three economic developments during the week. Now, talking about some of the key corporate developments and the earnings that were reported by a few key companies. So, first one is Dabur India. The company's Q4 FY24 consolidated revenue grew by 5.1%, EBITDA grew by 13.9%, and PAT grew by 16.6% on year-on-year basis, respectively. Gross and EBITDA margins also saw expansion of 279 basis points and 128 basis points year-on-year to 48.6% and 16.6% respectively. So Dabur reported good set of numbers. Even looking at the company's commentary on the overall result, the company is witnessing some signs of recovery in the rural market, and the Dabur gains a lot from any recovery which is seen in the rural market, as most of the company's product portfolio is skewed towards the rural market. So overall, Dabur India reported good set of numbers. Vedant Fashions Q4 FY24 consolidated revenue grew 6.3%, EBITDA and PAT grew by 4.3% and 6.4% year-on-year respectively. Gross margin of the company expanded 110 basis points year-on-year to 67.1%. However, EBITDA margin contracted by 93 basis points year-on-year to 48.2%. So overall, due to muted business environment, the company has reported somewhat muted set of numbers for the March quarter. Green Panel Industries Q4 consolidated revenue, EBITDA and PAT has declined by 10.2%, 32.7% and 56.8% year-on-year respectively. EBITDA margin has also contracted 430 basis points year-on-year to 12.9%. So weak numbers from Green Panel Industries. Havells India's March quarter numbers also were released during the week, where the company recorded revenue growth of 12% on a year-on-year basis. EBITDA and PAT grew by 20.4% and 24.8% year-on-year respectively. And EBITDA margin saw an improvement of 80 basis points year-on-year to 11.7%. So decent numbers from Havells. Sona BLW Precision Forging's revenue has grown 19% on a year-on-year basis. EBITDA and PAT has seen a growth of 24% and 23% year-on-year respectively. EBITDA margin has expanded 100 basis points year-on-year to 27.9%. So good set of numbers from Sona BLW. Ajanta Pharma also reported strong numbers. The revenue of the company grew by 19.5% year-on-year. EBITDA and PAT was up by 86.3% and 65.8% year-on-year respectively. EBITDA margin grew by 947 basis points year-on-year to 26.4%. So very good numbers from Ajanta Pharma. Ambuja Cements consolidated revenue, EBITDA and PAT grew by 11.6%, 37.1% and 99.9% year-on-year respectively. EBITDA margin saw an improvement of 354 basis points year-on-year to 19.1%. The total sales volume of the company grew by 17.7% year-on-year to 16.6 million tons. So robust set of numbers by Ambuja Cements as well. Adani Wilmar's consolidated revenue declined by 4.6% year-on-year. However, EBITDA and PAT registered growth of 207% and 67.5% year-on-year respectively. Gross and EBITDA margin expanded by 439 basis points and 189 basis points year-on-year to 13% and 2.7% respectively. Maruti Suzuki's total monthly production in April month stood at 1,69,751 vehicles, which was up 17% on a year-on-year basis. Tata Motors registered total monthly sales in April month at 77,521 vehicles, which was up 11.4% year-on-year. The company's commercial vehicles and passenger vehicle segments reported sales of 29,538 and 47,983 vehicles, registering growth of 31% and 2% year-on-year respectively. Hero MotoCorp's total monthly sales in April month stood at 5,33,585 units, which was up 34.7% year-on-year. Domestic and export sales grew by 32.9% and 104.5% year-on-year respectively in the month of April. Some other companies which were in focus during the week because of the news were Max Estates. The company signed an agreement for a residential development project in Gurugram with a GDP potential of about 9,000 crore rupees. So this news was positive for the company in short to medium term. Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders received an international shipbuilding order worth $42 million to construct 3 hybrid powered vessels. So positive for the company in medium term. RVNL's JV with KRDCL received a letter of acceptance worth rupees 439 crores for the redevelopment of Thiruvananthapuram station. So this is positive for RVNL in short term. Also, RITES received a letter of acceptance worth $111 million from Bangladesh Railway for supply of passenger carriages. So this is also positive for RITES in short to medium term. Now, this week we have given one call under our pick of the day segment on Electronic Smart India. The call is given at a price of rupees 218 for a target of rupees 240. So, Electronic Smart India is the largest electronics goods retailer in South India in terms of revenue, with dominance in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and it is the fourth largest consumer durables and electronics retailer in India. The company offers a diversified range of products with focus on large appliances, mobiles and small appliances, IT, and others. If you look into the 9-month FY24 period, the company has opened 21 stores, taking the total store count to 147 stores as of December 2023. And out of these 147 stores, 134 stores are MBOs and 13 are EBOs. Company's future plans involve expanding its store network in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and gradually extend its presence in the NCR region as well. So there are 7 to 10 stores in pipeline to open up in the fourth quarter of FY24, as was guided by the management earlier, and 25 to 30 stores are in pipeline for FY25. So going forward, the company will continue to strengthen its existing presence, which has helped company to establish its brands in the markets of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Delhi NCR. And given the onset of summer season, the large appliances segment, that is ACs and coolers, is likely to see healthy growth in the fourth quarter of FY24 and also in the first quarter of FY25. So this one call is we have given in our pick of the day call segment during the week. Also, in our pick of the week call segment, we have given a call on Amber Enterprises at price of rupees 3,893 for target of rupees 4,480. So, Amber Enterprises is an integrated market leader in the Indian room air conditioner, that is RAC industry. The company has a presence across both the components and finished goods in the HVAC industry. It has a 29% value market share in the Indian RAC industry. Also, heat wave is generating unprecedented demand as the IMD has predicted above normal temperatures for the month of May as well across India, which will keep AC demand at elevated level. Amber Enterprises has ventured into the PCBA segment as well, that is into the PCB assembly and other electronics manufacturing to reduce its dependency on the RAC industry. It is also expanding product portfolio in mobility by providing cooling solutions to railways, metro rail and air-conditioned buses through its subsidiary Sidwell Refrigeration. Also, the company is looking to further increase its offerings by creating a JV with Titagarh Railway Systems, which is a leading manufacturer of passenger coaches in India. The JV will give preferred supplier status to Amber Enterprises for its cooling products and other components. So all this bodes well for the company's near-term growth. So this is another call that we have given during the week. Now, after taking a look on all the major market data points of last week, now let's see what is the market outlook for next week. So next week, Indian market will continue to focus on the earnings season, while stock-specific action will also continue in the market. On the data front, India Services PMI for the month of April, industrial and manufacturing production for the month of March will also be in investors' radar. And for near term, investors are recommended to stick to quality businesses with strong earnings growth potential. For any key corporate actions in next week, kindly refer to our weekly wrap report. The link to view the report is shared in the description box below. This was all about the weekly market podcast. Thank you for listening.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.